I know you asked on the chat, the beam that you're in now, I'll put that down as your car selection, but as per Rubbing's Racing League rules, you get one car change per season. If you do want to change your car, you can change it at any point, you only get one change.
Yeah, I doubt I'll be changing. Yeah, oh, I probably can drive.
I'm the same in the gun, mate. I mean, I can just about drive the AMG at the Merc, but I can't really drive it quickly in the Beamer. I'm bastard useless, let's be honest. Right, tuning set up, let's see what she's got. Grundy. She says 47.1, but that sounds quick even to my liking.
Welcome to the stream, everyone. We're here at Brands Hatch. This is round 2 of the Rubbings Racing Touring Car Championship. Last week, you may know, we were at Sakito, where we saw unpredictable weather conditions cause quite a stir. So our drivers were stumped as to what to do, what the best tyres were to use, with the track drying up in certain spots, and in other places we had rivers and puddles and lots of standing water. However, the forecast here for the sprint race here in Kent appears to suggest that this will be a dry race, which means all the practice that these guys have done in the dry will be put to the test to see if they can deliver. So currently we've got Luke Bennett here, fastest lap so far with a 1:47 dead. Very handy time from Luke. He's coming round the final turn now. Let's see what this is like for Luke. Here he comes across the line. So 46.9 from Luke. First time I've seen a 46 actually around this track in the touring cars. Smithy goes 4th with a 47.4. We got Grandad Stee in 2nd place, provisionally on the front row. 47.3 from him. He's got a little bit of traffic coming into the final turn, but this could benefit him with the slipstream. Grandad Stee comes around the final turn now across the line. And he too, 46.9. Only 0.02 of a second there. The gap between Luke and Grandad Stee, neck and neck here at the front at Brands Hatch. We're on the Indy circuit here today. This is the shortened version. It just simply goes round in a circle. It misses out the GP section, which is where the Formula 1 Grand Prix was held 12 times between 1964 and 1986. I think that's right. Don't quote me on that one. So we follow Grandad Stee now, coming round for another lap. Maybe had a bit of traffic there. Hopefully they got out of the way.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah.
Yep, sounds like team radio there saying that, from those guys saying that they had to move out of the way, maybe compromise their laps a bit. Grandad Stee, not an improvement that time around. Maybe a bit of turbulent air. Oh, as he drifts out wide through the first turn. Is that guitar dude? He's 2nd in the championship after a solid opening round at Sakito. Coming out the last turn now with the traditional Renault colours. With the traditional mild 7 Renault colours here from that guitar dude as he comes over the start-finish line. Still on a 47.3 P3 at the moment.
Probably one of those tracks you're not going to get any room, man.
That guitar dude on his personal best so far on this lap. Using all the track available. Got a yellow flag through turn 1. Yellow flag through turn 1. Luke's done a 46.8. Even faster. Luke Bennett puts a couple of tenths of breathing space between himself and Grandad Stee. There's Smithy getting onto the gravel a little bit on the outside of turn 1. Abandons that attempt. And K Moore's coming around the final turn. Looks like he's got a bit of traffic. This will benefit him though with the slipstream. Over the line is P6. Luke being very aggressive through those corners, getting those tyres nice and warm for his final couple of attempts. His team there on the radio telling him to get plenty of heat into those rear tyres.
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm just not going to put up with annoying me.
Lecky here up on his personal best, 2/10 up coming out last turn. And Lecky goes P7 with that one, 47.8. Nice lap time there from Lecky, drifting through the first turn one, and that will be put pay to that attempt as we see JR go third with a 47.1. JR lock and low putting himself in amongst the fight for pole position here. Obviously our commentator on Thursday nights and commentated every single race from the first season of Robbins Racing. Gets to race a little bit more nowadays. Coming out the last turn, let's see what this is like for JR. Must have made a mistake on that one.
Can't get anything out of this car. There's something wrong with it.
Just heard a team radio there from Deck Paint in P13 saying to his car, to his team, sorry, that something's wrong with the car. Deck Paint not happy with the balance of that car at the moment for whatever reason, just not working for him. Hopefully he can find out what the issue is and get on top of that, because there's only 40 seconds left in quali. He'll get time for one more run now.
Lecky, did you have an incident?
I did indeed. Okay, it's a one. I think it was a bit more than that, mate.
We're into the dying embers of the first qualifying session here as we see JR go second with a 46.9. Lovely lap there from JR up onto the front row, goes wide at the second turn there, and looks like it's going to be P2 for him unless Grandad Stee can spring up something at the death of this session.
Put the wrong amount of fuel in, for fuck's sake. That's what I'm
Deck Paint's run out of fuel. Oh no, he hasn't run out of fuel, he's got too much fuel in that car.
out of fuel. I put too much in.
Jack, do us a favour. He's not worth talking to Andy. He's not properly listening there. So he's separated from the rest of us, mate. So if you want to talk to somebody, talk to me or any of the drivers and Andy.
Keep the comms down to a minimum because it really interrupts Andy when he's doing his comments. It's really hard.
Just let me know if something happens, obviously. Let me know if something happens, but...
Just a quick shout. Incident turn one, something like that.
Well, no, say who it is, because I can't go to turn one, so tell me who it is. Just say P5 or whatever. Or just say who you... Just say your name.
Just try to keep the talking down to a minimum when it's like that, because all that chatting just fucked me up there. I need to concentrate, like, I don't want to be listening how somebody's put too much fucking fuel in his car. It doesn't bother me, you just fuck me that up, mate.
So we've got Luke Bennett starting on pole position for the sprint race here at Brands Hatch Indy. JR lock and load with a nice lap there at the end, puts it P2. We've got Grandad Stee making his debut in the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship. Third place for him, Dakatadu, Smithy in fifth. We've got K Morse, Uni Clark, Johnson Walnut. Lecky surprisingly down in ninth. I was expecting him to be fighting at the sharp end. Lightblade making his Robbins Racing debut in 10th. We've got Muff Dog, Tro, Deck Paint, Ugbar. We're ready for lights out almost here for the sprint race of the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship. Race 3, round 2. Minute screen, just waiting for the boys to get ready. We're going to retire and spectate from this and watch from the monitor. So Luke Bennett on pole, 14-year-old esports driver from Birmingham. has finished on the podium in every single race, apart from the 2 on the GT3 at Monza the other day. Every race other than that event, he has finished on the podium. So we're expecting him to be fighting right for the win here. JR Lock and Load with an excellent lap at the end of that session is second, lining up, and we're also expecting good things from him. We've got Grandad Steve making his Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship debut in third. That Guitar Dude second in the championship, in the Tier 1 Championship, he's lining up fourth. Smithy will be fifth. Then we've got Uni Clark, Johnson Walnut. Lecky lines up in eighth. Then we've got Lightblade in ninth. Muff Dog there. Tro, Deck Paint and Oakbar. Must be almost ready for lights out here, boys. The boys just getting their final preparations sorted, changing their setups, fuel strategies, pit strategies, etc. But we're almost on the way. So this is a 10-lap sprint race. No mandatory pit stop for this one. This is just a straight out sprint to the finish. If you're watching, let us know in the comments who you think is going to win this. Who's your favourite? Who would you like to see in P1 come the end of this? So we're almost ready for the start of the Brands Hatch Indy, round 2 of the Robbins Racing Sprint Race, race 3 altogether. We're underway here. Looks like a good start from the Monster Energy car. That looks like Uni Clark. Straight up to P5. And we've got side by side going through turn 1. JR defending there from Grandad Steve. We've also got that Guitar Dude attacking in 4th place. Up through their hairpin at the top of the hill. Looks like we're all pretty clean there. We've got Uni Clark, who's made good progress up into 5th place at the start. Looks like they've all more or less held position through that. Toggy Bear says good luck to all of you. And we've got a spinner. It looks as though, who was that spinning out? That's Muff Dog there, losing the car. Didn't see who that was, who he made contact with, or don't know if he made contact. So Luke Bennett's leading the race. We've got JR Lock and Load in second. He's got a little bit of a gap there between himself and Grandad Steve. That Guitar Dude, Uni Clark dropping back from that pack. He's got Lightblade all over the back of him. Can Lightblade make some headway? He's made a decent start to this race. Johnson Walnut's following him. We've got Lecky very close behind. A little bit of a gap there to Smithy. Deck Paint coming under pressure here from Tro for 10th place. Oh, as it looks as though Lightblade losing the car on the, and almost collecting Lecky there. Lecky gets a slowdown penalty. But Lightblade losing the car on the exit of the last turn and almost collecting those guys with him there. Very lucky not to cause an accident. The gap at the front staying the same. We've got Luke Bennett leading the race by half a second to JR Lock and Load. Seems to be dropping Grandad Steve a little bit. Not by much. Looks as though somebody's making a move in the background there. We've got Lecky going up the inside. Oh, trying up the inside of Deck Paint, not making the move stick. Deck Paint defended. Oh, and contact there. Lecky runs into the back of Deck Paint. I don't know if that was just a difference in braking point there. The boys have got to keep it clean. Deck Paint saying on the radio there that he had to brake a little bit earlier that time around. Maybe that car's not very stable as he goes very wide. Deck Paint off onto the gravel down to P10. Deck Paint struggling in the early laps here at Brands Hatch. We've got JR all over the back of Luke Bennett here, fighting for the lead. JR Lock and Load having an absolute screamer in the early laps here, putting Luke Bennett under some real pressure. We were not expecting this in practice. Luke seemed to have this one. He seemed to be the man with it all to lose, but now he's got JR all over the back of him. JR with his lights on. just to add to that pressure through the downhill right-hander. Tricky braking zone, hard to get right. A lot harder than it looks on camera. And Luke's put a little bit of breathing space in that first sector there. If he's feeling the pressure, it's not showing. Looks like Smithy closing onto the back of Johnson Walnut here for... No, it's Johnson Walnut closing onto the back of Uni Clark. Lecky also right on the back of Lightblade here. This is round 2 of their little battle that they had earlier on. Lecky into the slipstream. Doesn't seem to have the straight line speed to pull alongside, but he's going to go for a dive up the inside. Lecky makes the move. Fantastic move there from Lecky up into P8. And Lightblade saw it coming. Thought better of fighting that one. Lecky making inroads now. The gap at the front, 0.2 of a second as JR has a look up the inside there. Luke showing him the inside, and JR almost making an opportunistic move there. Thought better of it in the end, but he has a real chance coming down the straight here. Luke's going to have to go defensive going into turn 1, which he does do. JR taking a tighter line there on the exit. Luke holding position for now. But this is a battle that we're going to keep tabs on, because this battle for the lead here really heating up. JR taking the fight to Luke very early on in this race. Leonardo there saying that his support's for JR in this one. Leonardo wanting JR to go for it. He says, go JR. We've got Smithy all over the back of Johnson Walnut now, here for P6. This is an excellent battle as they come down towards the pit straight now. And Johnson Walnut leaving the inside wide open, it looks like now. He's covering the inside now. Goes defensive into turn 1. And Smithy gets a much better run out of turn 1. Can he go around the outside of the uphill hairpin? He's going to try it, and that right there is a lovely move from Smithy. Up into P6, fantastic move for on the outside there. Johnson Walnut gave him the space, and Smithy exploited that. Made the most of it. Smithy up into P6 there. The battle for the lead still 0.3 of a second separates the top 2. And Smithy has made a mistake in the last corner. Johnson Walnut takes the place back off of him again.
Is he off for a tagging on Smithy?
Final corner, P10.
Deck paint's gone off at the last turn. Didn't see what happened there. Just heard a team radio saying that this car's not working for him. Deck paint is having an absolute mare in this one at the moment. Something has gone horribly wrong. Obviously, if this was any of the other series in the Rubbings Racing Championship, then he would be starting on pole for the feature. But because of the touring cars, we've got a different format. We run a second qualifying session for the feature race in this, so Deck Paint's going to have it all to do. And we see Luke locking up there into turn 1. Didn't seem to cost him too much time. Still coming under increasing pressure from JR Lock and Load. Johnson Walnut and Smithy having a bit of round 2 here. Smithy gets a nice exit out of the hairpin. And looks as though Deck Paint going very wide, and it looks like Muff Dog's made the place. That's through turn 3, that one. So Luke holds on from JR to win here at Brands Hatch in the sprint race for the Rubbings Racing Touring Car Championship. That guitar dude has got Grandad Steve. That guitar dude finishes in the final podium spot in 3rd. We've got Uni Clark in 5th. Smithy runs out of fuel over the line in 6th. We've got Johnson, Walnut and Lackey 7th and 8th. Lightblade finishes in 9th. Muffdog crosses the line in 10th with Degpack right behind him. Muffdog making that place up on the final lap there. Tro finishes a lonely 12th. And Ugbar, our Dutch driver from Hoogeveen, crosses the line in last place. That was an excellent race to watch there, guys. Very, very good driving. Great to watch, actually.
That was brilliant racing, gents.
So we're going to be back on air for the feature race in a few minutes. We're going to stay on air, but obviously we're going to keep the same stream running.
But I really think the laps should be put up. That was a really fast race for 10 laps.
We'll be about 2 minutes. We're going to get the qualifying underway as soon as possible here.
I'd have loved another 20, mate, honestly.
Don't worry, we'll have more. We will have some more.
Okay, guys, so we're going to be back up in a couple of minutes. Obviously, thank you to the comments, Leonardo and Tuggy Bear. Thank you for the comments. It means a lot. Your support is everything.
You run out as well, Luke. Jesus.
On the normal slicks, there isn't a difference. There's no hard.
No, yeah, so do right.
On to practice off Leggy.
Still 10-minute quality.
The race was good to watch. Missed out on the race though.
Don't forget to sync the race this time.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
I pressed exit, twat.
Okay, so as it works out, let's just, what are the scores, George goes? Second. You won't even understand that reference. 20 divided by 20.
Dove from above.
East in the east. Okay, as it happens, it's 26, best part of 27 laps.
Okay.
So we're just hearing confirmation the feature race for race 4, part of round 2 for the Rubbings Racing Touring Car Championship will be 27 laps. We're going to have a quick 10-minute quali session to precede it.
Don't worry about it. We'll get on it.
And we're going to get going as soon as possible here. Our lobby host, Lecky's going to fire it up in just a couple of seconds. This is going to be random weather forecast for this one. So anything can happen. And we had, last week at Sakito, obviously, we had the monsoon, or typhoon, I think it was actually, that came over us. So expect anything to happen in Project Cars 2. You just never know what it might bring.
For that advertising properly, it goes dry, then random, then dry, and it rotates like that week in, week out. So week 1 is dry, then random, week 2 is random, then dry.
So we got 4 weather slots. First one is dry, then the second is random, third is dry, then random again. So boys, this is going to be a drama-filled race. Let's hope that there are no monsoons. Let's hope there are no typhoons. In England, you're not going to get many typhoons, but let's see what happens.
Pretty fucking wet on the way out from work.
I'm just thinking the worst we could possibly have is snow and ice.
It's September, so it's not going to be snow, hopefully, but you just never know in England.
That was a great race, by the way.
That was a really good race. Even at the back, we were all fighting for position. That was
Me
a
and
good
Deck
race.
had a really good race. No, me and Deck.
I was gonna say I was like 13th.
Yeah, me and
That
Deck.
was a good race. My blade was sticking with me as well, mate. I mean, he's a newcomer, but he was super.
What happens to the full lobby? Did a few people just not ready up or something?
No, I went up to click ready, and I went up so many, and it went to the bottom and I clicked exit.
Yeah, shit. I do that an embarrassing amount of times.
Oh,
Sorry to the boys watching on air. We're going to get going in just a second.
Double check, we've got 16, gents. I see 15. Who are we missing?
No, it was 15 last time.
Cool. Before I do anything else, I'm doing the pit strategy. Because I'm not waiting till the end.
You'd be a fool not to have the work ready. That's my only advice I'm giving.
Sorry guys that are watching on the stream, we're going to have eyes on the track in just a moment.
Oh shit.
Those clouds don't look right.
Quali weather is not necessarily symptomatic of race weather.
Welcome,
Watch out, Unicar.
welcome to the new guys watching the stream. We're going to get underway in about 1 minute or so. Obviously this is round 2, race 4 coming up for the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship. We just had race 1, the sprint race. We also had qualifying before that. We've got another 10-minute qualifying session which is just getting underway now, and then we're going to get going for the 27-lap feature race around Brands Hatch Indy in just a few minutes time.
On a lap, mate.
Your lights on, is on a lot there.
Yeah, I have got my lights on. No worries. That's not a bad opener.
Debris on first corner.
Welcome guys, if you're just joining us, you're here for round 2 of the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship. This is qualifying for race 4. We have 2 qualifying sessions, one before the sprint race, one before the feature race. This is for the feature race, and we've got Luke Bennett with the fastest lap so far. Always you see someone spinning off in the background there. So we've got Luke Bennett setting the benchmark so far with a 47.5. Bear in mind in the first session he did a 46.9. So rapid lap time from Luke in the last one. 46.8 it was actually, sorry, I stand corrected. It's coming around the final turn. Let's see if this is near to what he's been doing. Luke Bennett crosses the line with a 47.1. We've got Uni Clark in P2 with a 47.6. Nice lap there from Uni Clark. Nat Guitar do 47.6 as well. Grandad Stee 47.7. We're all just getting warmed up here for the second qualifying session of the night.
Already feels a million miles better.
Just hearing on the team radio deck paint saying that the balance of that car is 10 times better than what it was in the previous race. But not showing there. He's gone a little bit wide on the first turn into the gravel. But then again, that could just be him finding the limits early on in this session.
Driver error.
Looking to find the limits. Luke Bennett comes over the line with a 46.9. JR Lock and Load, who challenged Luke all the way in the sprint race, puts it on provisional pole position there with a 46.8. Fantastic lap there from the York man. He's got a busy couple of days ahead of him, but it's not stress is not showing at the moment. Excellent driving there from him. K Morse is P3 with a 47.5. Uni Clark there puts his car in P3 with a 47.3. Thank you to all the guys watching live on the stream. Your comments and everything, we really appreciate them. I want to say thank you to Tuggy Bear and Leonardo for dropping your opinions on what you're seeing. Luke Bennett, our second place man, coming through the hairpin now at the top of the hill. A little bit of a lock up, nothing, not costing him any time. Right on the edge of the track limits here, using every bit of the road available there, wrestling the car over the curb. Luke is a 14-year-old esports driver, currently leading his esports championship. He's exiting the final turn. Luke Bennett, over the line. And he remains second for the time being. We ride with K Morse, making his, not going to say debut in the Rubbings Racing League.
Yep.
It is his debut in the Rubbings Racing League. He's made a solid start in the first race, looking to build on that now. In the qualifying, currently sitting P4. Is Uni Clark, he's 39-year-old from Swindon. Raced in a number of Rubbings racing events already. Always goes well in the touring cars. That guitar dude coming over the line, not an improvement on his current best, still P6 for him at the moment. That guitar dude who had a good outing in Taquito. Was very, very fast in the touring cars. Got Grandad Stee up to P3 with a 47.2. Nice lap. He's got a little bit wide at turn 1. That lap will definitely be chalked off. Johnson Walnut here coming over the line. Currently P12 and stays P12 for the time being. Lecky coming over the line. Was P8, stays P8. However, that guitar dude moves up to P6 with a 47.5, taking a little bit of toe there off of Lecky. Runs off on the first corner. Nice lap there from him. Luke Bennett goes top of the leaderboard with a P with either 46.7. And JR Lock and Load's got it all to do again now. Luke Bennett, last season's Thursday Night Lights champion and contender in every one of the championships that he's competing in, which I think is all 5 of the Rubbings Racing Championship. Today we've got the touring cars, and then on Thursday we've got the Thursday Night Lights returning again. On Friday we've got a new series starting up, which is the GT4 Ginetta Super Cup, and on Saturday we've got the LMP ones for round 3 at Algarve, and on Sunday we return here actually to Brands Hatch for the GT3 Championship on Sunday. I can hear a bit of coughing over the mic. I don't know if that's putting me off of it.
Sorry, that's me. Apologies.
Oh. Deck paint going very wide on the exit of the final turn. He's going to come over the line. This most likely isn't going to be an improvement because of that. Oh, deck paint just say, oh, he's lost the back end going through there. Almost span out. Just about held onto it. Nice control there from the young man from Hull. Just 16 years old. Has the bags of talent. We've seen it many times. Does have a tendency to be a bit trigger happy sometimes, but he's a very, very good young driver. And if he can just rein in that hot-headedness, he has the potential to be one of Rubbings Racing's future stars. Deck paint showing a lot more pace in this than he was in the last session. He's going to come round now. Let's see what this is like for deck paint. Not an improvement, but he's got one more lap to try and stake his claim for a top half qualifying spot. Grandad Steve still out there on a lap. He's coming round the last turn now. Grandad Steve finished 4th in the last race, got pipped at the line by that guitar dude. He stays P3 at the moment in qualifying. Smithy moves up to P6 with a 47.3. We're into the final knockings now of the session. And Deck Paint's just set a personal best there through the middle sector. Deck Paint up on his previous best. Let's see what Deck Paint can do in the dying embers of this Rubbings Racing Touring Car feature race qualifying session. Deck Paint over the line. It's P7 for Deck Paint. Lovely lap there from him right at the end of the session there. Puts himself into the top half of the standings. Grandad Steve, our P3 man. Can he put himself on the front row? Or even on pole position? He can't improve on his previous lap. We're having a look now back through the order to see if anyone can improve. No one improves at the end of that session. So Luke Bennett will line up on pole position for the feature race. 27 laps of Brands Hatch coming up in a couple of minutes. We've got JR Lock and Load lining up alongside him. Then Grandad Steve, K Morse, Uni Clark. Smithy is in 6th. We've got Deck Paint with that excellent lap right at the end of the session there. He's not too far off the front runners either. That Guitar Dude is in 8th. Disappointing from him. I'm sure that he'll be looking to improve in the race. We've got Lightblade in 9th. Lecky down in 10th place. Muff Dog is in 11th with Johnson Walnut behind him. Tro and Ugbar make up the back row. We're almost ready here to start off for the feature race. We're going to have a couple of minutes. The boys are going to get their race strategies all sorted out. We're going to retire and spectate and watch from the monitor. We're going to take a 1 minute. We're going to take 1 minute and then we're going to get going for this Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship race 3 at round 2 at Brands Hatch. It's a feature race, 27 laps, mandatory pit stop for this one, boys. 27 laps. So boys, if you are just joining us, this is the Robbins Racing Touring Car Championship. We're on for 4 more nights this week after tonight. We're on Thursday night for the Thursday Night Lights series. It's going to be a random car, random track. I believe that the track is, can anyone help me? What's the track for Thursday Night Lights? Does anyone know? I think it's this one, isn't it? Yeah, we're back at Brands Hatch for that one. He's muted his mic. So we've got, and then we're back on the Saturday for the LMP1 Championship. We're at Algarve for that one. Make sure you tune in. Friday night we've got the GT4 Janettas, and on Sunday we have the GT3 Championship, which is back here again. So lots of racing at Brands Hatch. We're almost ready for lights out here for the feature race. We're just about to get going. Just the final couple of guys finalising, getting ready to go to the grid. We've got 10 seconds until lights out. Here we go, this is it. Round 4, the feature race. Race 4, the feature race. And we're underway here. And it looks like a good start from the second row. It looks as though K Morse straight up to second, straight up to the lead off of the line. Was that a jump start there, or was that just a fantastic getaway? K Morse into the lead up towards the first hairpin. Looks like it was just a fantastic start. Little bit of contact there in mid-pack. And Grandad Steve has had a disastrous start, down to last place. Started in 3rd, I think it was. So we've got K Morse leading the pack, just in front of JR. JR's got the jump on Luke somewhere through the middle sector. We didn't quite see that bit. But so we got K Morse, JR, Luke Bennett, then Smithy, Deck Paint, and then we got Lightblade, followed by Buff Dog, then Lakatadu, Johnson Walnut, Lecky, Tro, Ugbar, Uni Clark at the back. And Grandad Steve pulls it into the pits on lap 1 for his mandatory start. We see Luke Bennett trying up the inside here of JR. And he's going to make the move. Luke Bennett up to P2. Smithy looking to get involved in this action in P4. So K Morse still holding the lead. He's got a group of cars queuing up here behind him. And they're all going, this looks like they're going 3 wide here. K Morse holds the lead. Just about. Smithy up into P2, making the most of that one. And he's going to try around the outside here of him. We've got a spinner. The last turn we didn't see. Didn't catch that. Smithy up into the lead. Dives up the inside of turn 1. K Morse goes very, very wide there. No, it's not K Morse, it's Smithy. So Smithy, sorry, going wide there. Smithy trying up the inside and going wide at turn 1. K Morse still with the lead. Luke Bennett all over the back of him. We're going wheel to wheel. K Morse still holding on. Looks like Luke's got the move done. JR looks to follow him through. Can't make the move. K-Mor's very wide. And it's gone there. K-Mor goes straight into JR. There's also someone going off. Going very wide behind them. I think that was Lightblade. But the contact there between K-Morse and JR Lock and Load. Those two down to right at the back of the field. Luke Bennett now with some breathing space at the front. Has the lead by 1.6 seconds here to Smithy. Muff Dog here having to defend from Johnson Walnut, but Johnson Walnut's going to go up the inside of the hairpin up into turn 2. And Johnson Walnut's got the P3. Muff Dog up into P4 there ahead of Lecky. They've got that guitar dude breathing down their necks. Luke Bennett clear away. As Johnson Walnut goes up the inside of Smithy there for P2. Johnson Walnut, fantastic. First few laps there from him. He's on an absolute charge at the moment. Muff Dog here coming up the... Oh, he's ahead of Lecky. Lecky looking all over him, but he's got that guitar dude all over him as well. That guitar dude up the inside. Up into P5 ahead of Lecky. We've got a big train here behind them, which includes Lecky, Deck Paint. Deck Paint up into P7 ahead of Tro. Next up is that guitar... sorry, Lecky for Deck Paint. As we see, Smithy's got back past Johnson Walnut somewhere on that lap, but Johnson Walnut not giving up lightly. And as Luke had some sort of problem. Luke must have had an off coming out of the last turn. We can see Luke Bennett, the lead, has been... his lead has been eaten into there. Not sure what happened to him. Johnson Walnut back up into P2, but he's got Smithy all over the back of him. Thank you for your comments on YouTube, by the way. Leonardo says, heavy cloud forming. Is there a potential for rain? Well, Leonardo, all we've got to do is watch and find out. Anything can happen in this one. Smithy and Johnson Walnut having an excellent battle here for P2. All the time, Luke pulling away from them, but I bet they're not bothered about that. All they want to do is fight each other at the moment. Johnson Walnut back up the inside into turn 1. Meanwhile, that guitar dude watching this, licking his lips, hoping to get involved in this one. Smithy back round the outside. And it looks as though Johnson Walnut's too far away on this occasion to go for a move. These boys settling down a little bit now. Luke Bennett, the gap 2.5, stretching away at the front. Our 14-year-old esports driver. It was very, very tidy there through turn 1. Everyone sticking to the racing line. Standard of driving is very, very high here in the Rubbings Racing League. Lecky kind of coming under increasing pressure now from Deck Paint. Lecky, obviously one of the founders of the Rubbings Racing Touring Car Championship, always goes well in these cars. Bit of a veteran in these, bags of experience, bags of talent as well to go with it. Oh, looks though got going very wide there. Johnson Walnut, he's going to come under pressure here from that guitar dude. He's dropped a little bit to Smithy now. Smithy in a comfortable second place. Johnson Walnut's obviously made a mistake somewhere on that lap. Muff Dog loses the position to Lecky. Lecky's up into P5 as we go back with that guitar dude who's chasing down Johnson Walnut for the final podium spot at the moment. A battle going on in the background there between Muff Dog and Deck Paint. Muff Dog looking to fight back after losing a lot of time with that. I think it was a little bit of a collision there, maybe with Lecky. We know Deck Paint's going to fight this one with all he can. That guitar dude now 0.2 of a second separating Johnson Walnut and him. Johnson Walnut goes a little bit defensive going into turn 1. And that guitar goes very, very wide. That's going to allow Lecky to go for a move up the inside, is it? Yep, Lecky up into P4 now. Lecky with a lovely move there up the inside of the hairpin. Next up for him, Johnson Walnut. Lecky looking to get onto the podium here, I'm sure. Muff Dog's had another of some sort. We didn't catch that, but Muff Dog down in P9. He's closing up onto the... No, Muff Dog's slowing. Must have had a slowdown penalty there from the race stewards. Lecky right on the back of Johnson Walnut here for the final podium spot. Is he going to go for a move? Is he going to use the same spot that he did on that guitar dude? He's lost a little bit of ground there coming out of that corner. Too far back at the moment, has to go a little bit defensive there to avoid having that for the... But these three having an excellent battle here. Again, this is for the final podium spot, so these guys are extra motivated for this spot. Still early doors at the moment. Luke Bennett with a 4-second lead over Smithy. And appears to be coming up on some traffic. I imagine this looks like it must be Kay Mawson, Uniclark, up ahead of him. Lecky still hassling Johnson Walnut. He will be desperate to get that move done, but we know Johnson Walnut, fantastic defensive driver, and he will defend this with everything he's got. But Lecky may have the pace here. Is it too much pace for him? Lovely exit out of the last turn there from Lecky. And Johnson Walnut is going to defend the inside, is he? Yep, goes to the inside. Lecky's going to have to go around the long way. Oh! Johnson Walnut very, very wide at turn 1. And it looks as though Lecky's got the move. Final podium spot there for Lecky. He's not going to have it easy. He's got that guitar dude all over the back of him at the moment. Looks like JR here, who's already pitted, having a look at Ugbar. Same livery, same car, teammates effectively. And Ugbar letting him go, saying, go on, you've got a better chance of winning this one than I have. JR takes the position. P8 for JR. Has already pitted. Luke Bennett, the race leader's in the pits. Luke Bennett with a fantastic pit stop there. And I'm sure, as Kembo said the other day, he will be buying those mechanics around after this one or two. Because they are really helping him out.
Oh, you did it. Why did you spin me out?
Who's that? What happened? Apparently there's been some sort of collision between Deck Paint and was that Kay Morse there, and Deck Paint having a collision. Didn't catch that on the screen. As there's, it looks like Uni Clark going very, very wide. Deck Paint picking up the position. Smithy in the pits. It's from P2. Looked like quite a good pit stop there from Smithy. Luke maintains the position over him. And coming up on some traffic which gets out of the way. Looks like Uni Clark there moving over. And that's the thing at Rubbings Racing. The blue flags are strictly enforced and always adhered to. See a battle here cracking on for P8. Looks like Deck Paint might have got past Uni Clark there actually. We missed that one. But he goes, oh, he's losing the car going on the exit, and Uni Clark's going to have a look up the inside, but Deck Paint covers it off. A little bit late I think, but he did cover it off. Maintains the position. Just about. JR having a lonely one at the moment. Pitted early, had an accident with K Morse there on the first lap. So JR Lock and Load, our usual resident commentator, founder of the Rubbings Racing Discord. He's coming around the pit straight. He's got someone coming out of the pits ahead of him here. So Lecky coming out just ahead there of JR. This could be a cracking battle there between those two. And JR, I think, after the first corner catastrophe, first lap catastrophe, excuse me, could have a good chance of getting on the podium in this one. Fantastic recovery drive from the York man. Luke Bennett here in P2. He's in the net lead at the moment. He's got that guitar dude still going round ahead of him, but once that guitar dude comes into the pits, Luke Bennett will assume the lead of the race. He's had a flawless feature race. He had a bit of a scare in the sprint race, JR Lock and Load giving him a right run for his money. The gap between those two at the line, just 0.3 of a second. But he's normal service resumed for Luke in this one. Really enjoying his driving out there at the moment. Looks like Deck Paint here closing onto the back of Uni Clark. Although Uni Clark actually doing a faster lap that time around, so Uni Clark does appear to be increasing the gap to Deck Paint as a matter of fact. As we've got Tro into the pits, Tro 246. Let's see what type of time this is for the pit crew. Very quick time there from the pit crew. And I imagine that he will be buying them all a early Christmas present for that one. Tro doing a good job in P7. Luke appeared to have lost a little bit of time on that lap, maybe with traffic getting in the way. That looks like Deck Paint there. He's just cleared. Yep, that was a 50-second lap that time round from Luke. I thought he'd lost a bit of time. Still not enough to stop him in his tracks at the moment. The gap to Smithy, 7 seconds. Smithy there going past a lapped car. That must be... the gap between second and third. The net first and second, Luke and Smithy, is now 8 seconds. Feel Luke maybe running away with this one. We're on lap 21 here at Brands Hatch. We're on the Indy circuit. And in this feature race we got 7 laps to go now. Looks like when that guitar dude comes into the pits, he should come out in third, I think. Might be quite close between him and Smithy actually, when he eventually does come in.
Blue flag, mate.
Blue flags for Deck Paint there, blue flags. So there's that guitar dude coming past him. But this battle behind him, Deck Paint's got Muff Dog, and this battle is for position for P8. Deck Paint with Muff Dog all over the back of him. I'm gonna call him Murphy because I think that's more politically correct for the stream. So Murphy all over the back here of Deck Paint now for P8, coming onto the pit straight. This could be another position loss for Deck Paint, who's done a solid job in this race, had a good start. It's not turned out as well as it promised. We can see JR's pulled right onto the back of Lecky. Lecky must have made a mistake somewhere on that last lap. It was a 49.8 and JR hassling him. Coming towards... Oh, is he going to go... Oh, there's contact! There's contact between Lecky and JR. It looked as though 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. JR went for the move. Lecky gave him the room, gave him the space, left the door open, and JR took that invitation. Luckily, it hasn't affected either of them too much. Well, it's affected JR a lot more than it's affected Lecky. That guitar dude putting him some solid lap times in the lead. Looks like him and Smithy will come out neck and neck. And this will be for second place by the time he comes in. Looks like for now the rain is held off here at Brands Hatch. We've got bright clear skies overhead. And luckily the weather, the typhoon-like weather that we saw last week, seems to be absent this week. Which is good for all the drivers. Looks like Light Blade here. Coming under increasing pressure from Grandad Steve. This is for P12. Grandad Steve's all over the back of him now. Coming over the line. He's going to look to get a nice exit out of this corner. And then maybe go for a move into the hairpin. Lovely, lovely, lovely drive out of that corner. Is he going to try around the outside? Looks as though Light Blade covers the inside. And very nice defensive driving, covering off any potential line that Grandad Steve might have wanted to take. JR's up into fourth. Lecky's made a mistake and JR's has moved up into fourth place. That guitar dude, a race leader, pulls into the pits. Let's see where he comes out in relation to Smithy. We're going to ride on board with Smithy. Here he comes down the pit straight. And Smithy into P2. That guitar dude loses out. It's going to be very close between that guitar dude and JR actually. No, in the end it looks like he's cleared him quite comfortably actually. So the order. Luke Bennett leads the race, 10 seconds clear of Smithy. Then that guitar dude in our final podium spot. JR seems to have put a little bit of breathing space between himself and Lecky now. So P4 for JR looks set. We've got Lecky P5, then Tro. Solid job from Tro. Really, really excellent drive from him today. He's really has upset the form book. Uni Clark, solid driver. Usually very, very strong in the touring cars. And Tro has so far got the measure of him. Deck Paint, after a good start, has had an unfortunate race in the second half of this race. Our race leader Luke Bennett is on the final lap here at Brands Hatch. He has driven a flawless feature race. He's won the sprint race after a bit of a nail-biting finish there with JR, but the feature race has been all under Luke's control, and Luke Bennett will extend his championship lead and take the victory here in the feature race. We just see Deck Paint there spinning out on the line. Not exactly sure what he was up to there. We've got Smithy coming over the line to finish in second. Solid job there from Smithy. That guitar dude completes the podium. JR lock and load coming around the final turn now. He'll be bitterly disappointed with that. He had a great chance of winning that race. Started on the front row, had pole position in the early knockings of qualifying. JR finishes 4th. Then we got Lecky in 5th. Tro, fantastic job from Tro. One of the, I would say, one of the best performances on the grid from Tro. Finishes in 6th. We've got Uni Clark 7th. Then Muff Dog Murphy comes over the line in 8th. Deck Paint looks like he might just make it over the line despite having a spin on the penultimate lap. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is your feature race. Johnson Walnut was 10th in the end. Then we have K Morse, Grandad Stee, Ugbar and Lightblade in the end lost the position to Ugbar as well. I want to thank everybody on YouTube very much for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for all your love and support. Drop a like on this video, subscribe, and make sure that you tune in. We're live on Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday this week. So make sure that you tune in, check out the channel, subscribe, turn those post notifications on to make sure that you don't miss a piece of the action here on the Rubbings Racing YouTube channel. And so we're signing out, we're signing off. This is it for us. Thank you all so much. And we'll see you again.
Now, boys, enjoyed that racing.
Thank you, everybody.
Good job, Andy. I didn't hear too much of it because I want to watch it live back. But I mean, fucking, I got punched out a few fucking times. It was crazy. I had to pits for damage and it pretty much ruined my race.
Right, I'll catch you later.
Yeah, Eddie, I didn't see your accident, but I caught the end of it.